his office.
Secrets, corruption, occultism, power. Welcome back to Abraxcast, Caledon's only podcast dedicated to uncovering the hidden underbelly of the Abraxas Society. I am your host, Loretta Rice. This is episode 4, The Hall of Secrets. It has long been known that Abraxas is no ordinary campus club. It seems to operate by its own rules and logic. Take their recent battle with the administration over housing. The Abraxas House is a Caledon-owned building at the periphery of Lakeport. After the storm, President Owen Teller declared the building uninhabitable and quickly advanced plans to have it condemned. Now, whatever one thinks about the administration's expansion plans, branded Caledon 2.0, university bylaws are very clear that Abraxas students must submit to relocation or risk disciplinary action. But this is not what happened. Instead, students have been returning to the building, squatting in their old rooms, and staging disruptive protests. The planned demolition has been set back indefinitely. Now, my role as a journalist is not to pick sides, but to uncover the truth. And I have come to believe that the reason for Abraxas's peculiar leverage may rest inside the very house they are illegitimately occupying. Sources tell me of a section in the Abraxas house known as the Hall of Secrets. What is contained within it? No one knows. But I'm told it has been passed down for decades and remains very well concealed from even the most senior Abraxas members. It stands to reason that these secrets hold the key to understanding not just Abraxas, but also its peculiar hold over Caledon University. I, your faithful reporter, will not rest until I have uncovered the Hall of Secrets myself and revealed what lies within.
Reggie is the president of Abraxas, which is seemingly connected to the fire. And I know Loretta is somehow too. I need to talk to both of them.
Our telescope is a Meade 16-inch Schmidt case-grain model with an advanced coma-free optical system. In astronomy, we have a little joke that it's not the size of the telescope, but the parallax motion of the celestial ocean.
Wonderful.
Sorry, is that joke appropriate? You can cut it out, right?
Please, tell us more about the telescope.
Sure. Well, any Schmidt case-grain telescope is going to feature a moving mirror focuser. Now, there are two main issues with that system: image shift and mirror flop.
Fascinating.
Of course, a nebula filter is a must, even in Vermont. And for planetary imaging, I always have my bar low ready to swap in. As we like to joke in astronomy, bar low lenses set the bar high for planetary astrophotography.
Delightful. Thank you, Moses Murphy, for sharing your extensive knowledge of astronomy and, most importantly, your deep, slumberous voice.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
And that will conclude another episode of ASMR PhD. I hope that all of you are fast asleep, dreaming of twinkling stars and swirling nebulae. Good night.
Wait, what kind of podcast is this?
Lucas.
Max, the newest lamb brought to the slaughterhouse of academia.
Did you practice that while I was walking over here?
I'm not getting paid enough to make small talk with you anymore. Excuse me.
Lucas is an asshole. But he taught at Caledon for years, and I need a lead. So, any new novels in the works?
I'm exploring new mediums. Not that anyone has noticed yet.
Oh, what kind of medium?
It wouldn't interest you. Excuse me.
This might give me an in with Lucas, if I can find somewhere quiet enough to hear it.
Vox Populi, Lucas Colmenero. Jam-packed show today. Later on, I will be speaking with Barney Albertson, the Cornell professor who has been wearing a sombrero all semester in protest of the university's Halloween costume code. Should be fascinating. First, an update on the goings-on in my own backyard. For those of you who have been following my Sisyphean saga, you may be pleased to learn that I have joined forces with a local Lakeport organization who is committed to exposing the rampant corruption of Caledon University. So many Lakeport residents were displaced, despoiled, or otherwise damaged by last year's storm, and yet Caledon, which was virtually unharmed, has seized on the disaster as a pretense to sop up aid funds and expand its borders. Now, readers and fans of my work may be surprised to find me as a leader of this nouveau front populaire. True, they are not my usual literary or intellectual coterie, but ever since I excised myself from the rank bowels of academia, I have been looking to use my experiences to help the common man. Higher education does not make a person wiser or more capable. It merely serves to mask weaker minds in the language of their intellectual betters. The good people of Lakeport and I will not cotton to the demands of these supposed elites. By joining together, I feel confident our voices will be loud enough to crumble the walls of Caledon for good. But the boulder is not up the hill yet. I will continue to update you, my beloved poppies, every step of the way. Okay, quick break to talk about my sponsor, Cash for Gold.
Vox Populi.
I would give anything to unhear that.
Welcome back to Academia Now. I'm honored to be joined by the new president of Caledon University, Dr. Owen Teller.
Thank you, and the honor is all mine.
President Teller, you've received a lot of attention since your appointment. Your predecessor, Yasmin Fayyad, leaves a substantial legacy, although her tenure ended abruptly. Do you plan to follow her path or forge your own?
First off, no one can doubt President Fayyad's commitment to excellence. Caledon was a sleepy New England backwater before her. Under her leadership, it became a world-class institution. But I took the reins during a time of great uncertainty, both for Caledon and for higher education in general. New challenges require broad visions and new strategies.
You're referring to your Caledon 2.0 plans, I take it? This is the newly announced initiative to expand Caledon campus and reorient towards technology and applied sciences.
Correct. It's a bold plan, but one that we believe meets the moment.
But how has the student body responded to your vision for the school?
Some of our students have a flair for the dramatic, but many of them are just anxious to know that their investment in a world-class education will pay off, which is my entire focus. The soul of Caledon isn't dead, it's expanding. Expanding to the tune of a state-of-the-art science complex and a 10-story dormitory just in Phase 1.
And how has the town of Lakeport responded to your expansion plans? I have heard there is a growing protest movement against Caledon within the town, accusations of monopolizing funds and displacing residents.
Civic and business leaders are ecstatic about our development plans. They've bought into a long-term future where both Caledon and Lakeport thrive.
Respectfully, I'm not sure you answered my question.
I believe I did. Now, under the Caledon 2.0 plan,
Moses mentioned that professor and some townies organizing a protest on a message board. Better look into it.
Dear listeners, there was a moment last night when I thought I might never get to speak to you again. Never share what I've discovered. When the countdown rang out at the Abraxas house and it became clear that the very building I was standing in would be demolished in a matter of seconds, only my quick wits, my poise under pressure, and my determination to share the truth kept me alive. And what have I discovered? That the administration is so hell-bent on destroying the Abraxas house that they're willing to break the law and put lives at risk. The Lakeport County Court has ordered that the Abraxas house cannot be demolished until a structural engineer examines the foundation. That inspection is scheduled for 2 days from now. So why were there explosives lining the walls of the basement this weekend? I have one theory. The Abraxas alumni network is vast and well-connected, the elites of business and politics. Could their fabled Hall of Secrets be filled with illicit blackmail material? Blackmail that current and former members use for leverage against the administration? I'm not the only one with concerns. Students and faculty alike are wondering what sinister truths Abraxas might be hiding. So one must ask, why would President Teller coordinate an illegal fly-by-night demolition? Is the Abraxas Society's iron grip on the administration beginning to slip? Or is the administration so intent on covering up whatever terrible skeletons lay buried inside the Abraxas Hall of Secrets? I will not rest until I have found the truth and reported it to you.
Something's not right. I need to find a place to sit down. Oh. Well, it would be rude not to listen.
Welcome back to MaxCast, the #1 source for all your Max Caulfield updates.
Good evening to all you Max heads out there. We have a very special episode for you tonight.
That's right. Please join us in wishing Max a happy birthday.
Now, listeners, our favorite photographer is another year older, but is she another year wiser? Let's play a round of Classic Caulfield.
Oh, I've got a good one. Despite being a professional photographer, Max still doesn't know how to work the flash on her cell phone camera.
Classic Caulfield. Okay, that's embarrassing, but get a load of this. In the last year, Max has tried and failed to make 3 grilled cheese sandwiches. only to give up and order a pizza every time.
Classic call. Wait, how? How can you screw up a grilled cheese sandwich?
Also, why is she still eating cheese? Hasn't she learned her lesson yet?
All right, we've had our fun. But remember, listeners, this is a very tense week for Max.
Absolutely. Trying to save Caledon University from an unknown arsonist.
Still unknown after a day and a half because Max keeps taking breaks for long, winding conversations with her bad girl ex, Chloe.
Max Caulfield is basically the unpaid detective of the space-time continuum at this point, huh?
What do you think, listeners? Will she be able to untangle this fiery mystery and help Chloe navigate her paradoxical existence?
Please. Chloe is living on a fault line in reality. You don't need to be an omniscient multiversal podcast host to know what happens to her.
We're gonna take a quick ad break. Afterwards, we'll have an interview with Tim DeSilva, a Lakeport waiter who says that Max only tipped him 12% on her meal last week.
Shocking! What do you think? Terrible manners or terrible math skills?
Why not both? Stick around, folks.
Chloe has dug up a lot about the threats on the Lakeport side. Lucas reshaped his whole personality around fighting academic corruption. Is it just talk, or would he actually attack Caledon?
Puppies, let me begin today with one of my favorite quotes from President John F. Kennedy. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Perhaps Lakeport's struggle with the corrupt Caledon administration does not rank on the great struggles of our time. Outside of the local press and you, dear listeners, few have even paid much attention to our cause. But revolutions are not confined just to national projects or massive institutions. Sometimes, the greatest way to effect change is to focus with all your collective might and conviction on rooting out the evil in front of you. My brothers and sisters of Lakeport are not focused on greater political movements or ideologies. They simply want to protect their homes and their families. It is perhaps the most ancient and universal human struggle there is. And that is why I am so honored to be counted as one of the leaders of the protest this Sunday. When we finally march on Caledon, we do not come as meek petitioners to their mercy. We do not submit to their elitist codes of conduct and acceptable political speech. No, we come to shake the foundations, to instill a healthy appreciation and, yes, fear for the power of our cause. Because make no mistake, power is the only thing these people understand. When I speak to you next, it will be on the far shores of the Rubicon. Until then.
Vox Populi!
Noelle and I have had our differences, but she's probably my best bet for stopping this fire.
Welcome back to Nevermind the Podcast, your go-to source for punk music. I'm joined now by Izzy, Bash, and Marisol, collectively known as Drugstore Makeup, a band from the Pacific Northwest.
Pleasure to be here. What's up?
And it's just the three of you, right?
Yeah, sometimes our manager comes out and plays some percussion for us during shows. Until she left us. Bash!
Sorry, what was that? Did you part ways with your manager?
No, she was with us on the first leg of our tour, but we're traveling separately for a bit.
Yeah, I play my own cowbells now, bitch.
Okay. So you're on the road promoting your new album.
Yes. Welcome to the Gynocracy. I think it's our best yet.
Fuck yeah. Can I say fuck?
No.
Well, I agree. It's a deep throat into queer rage and... Why are you glaring at me? A deep dive into queer rage and righteous anger. Fucking hell, Bash.
It's fine.
Listen, the punk scene has gotten hopelessly corporate. It feels like everybody is sponsored by Ball Out energy drinks or brought to you by Jump Kick amps.
Yep, and this album is ours. It says exactly what we want to say without anybody breathing down our necks.
Great. We'll be right back after a word from this episode's sponsor, Jump Kick Amps.
Ugh, seriously, dude?
Hey, I've got bills to pay. Back in a moment, everyone.
Final episode? Somehow I doubt that Loretta is announcing her retirement. I can't imagine a Caledon without Loretta's flyers wallpapered to everything.
Welcome back to a Braxcast. If you haven't heard, last week was a grim one for Caledon University. Details are still sparse, but an explosion rocked the campus last week, with the flames consuming the observatory. The sudden spotlight on Caledon means that this podcast has received some attention lately. Critics have accused me of clout chasing, or worse. But I've always doggedly pursued one thing above all: the truth. My school was targeted for violence by a man who had been denied the truth. It did terrible things to him, and he nearly did terrible things to us. This man may not be worthy of your sympathy. I certainly can't give him mine, but everyone is entitled to the truth. And when the powers that be conspire to hide the truth, well, that is where I come in. This will be the final episode of a Braxcast. I will pivot to uncovering the corruption in both Caledon and Lakeport. How did a disgraced English professor reinvent himself as an activist figurehead? Why were the police so slow to respond to the threats against Caledon? I will pursue these questions and many more. To the various news outlets who have reached out to me, please know that I'm reviewing your messages as fast as I can. I may be a burgeoning media empire, but I'm only one person, and midterms are coming. Listeners, if there were ever a time to like, comment, and subscribe, it's now. There is always more to be revealed.